السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين القائل واعتصموا بحبل الله
Thanks to
جميعا.
God, we extend our gratitude to God. You know the order. Hold tight the rope that is extended by God and always give your thanks to the God for the blessings that are given by God to you, and you have been made brothers and sisters. Be thankful for this. You were on the edge of going to hell and you were saved by Him. And the verses all these were given to you so that you can find a way to goodness and salvage. Muslims are just like bricks in a wall. They all stand by and support each other. And then he told about the Prophet with hands folded. And my dear brother, my dear brothers and sisters, distinguished participants, all those who participated in the 6th International ASSAM Congress, I greet you with the best feelings. I wish the greetings of God will be upon you all. You know, the theme of this year's Congress was security, internal security and public order. And in order to identify some common internal security strategies, what would be the principles and procedures? You had many discussions about this topic. And in fact, the 6th Congress came after 5 former Congresses. And I wish to God that this Congress will also prove to be very successful, and it had some high ambitions, and I hope your Congress will be able to attain them all. My dear brothers and sisters, you know, international order and system are now evolving into a multifocal format from its unifocal format. And in the Islamic world, I hope and wish from God that will have an active role in this new change for a rights-based world, for international peace. We need to play our role, and I hope we will be able to play that role, just like President His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan said. Wish him the great success, by the way. The world is greater than 5. The world is actually greater than 5. So the world should not rely on the decisions to be uttered by just 2 or 3 states. And we are looking for a more fair world. We would like to build this fair world. This is why we are putting so much efforts. And the Islamic community should know that we need to adopt an attitude and approach based on the current circumstances, and we need to work for the Islamic unity. And to this distinguished group of people, I would like to say that the works and studies of ASSAM are very satisfactory and pleasing for me, and all the necessary institutions for Islamic unity are discussed by ASSAM. ASSAM also tries to create this model. So For the Islamic states and for the whole world, ASSAM is working on ways of establishing peace. They are working in order to restore justice. And Islam has a role to play in achieving all of these. And the Islamic states should be more on the forefront in international fora. If these requirements are not fulfilled, in fact, none of the objectives and targets can be attained.
والذي يقوم على أساس أن المسلمين أمة
The
واحدة.
stepping stone, the first starting point is that unity, the common understanding of security. Islam Ummah is just one whole integral body. That should be our initial understanding. If one organ of a body gets sick, all other organs of the body will be adversely affected by the same ailment. You should know this. If you have one side strong, it may make the rest of the body strong too. You know, the hadith, in fact, Prophet Muhammad indicated this 14 centuries ago, and he made a principle out of this, and he prepared with his words an important foundation for Islamic unity. We know what the hadith says. The believers, when you are in solidarity, when you care for each other, it's just like you become one body. It's just like you become one individual body. And if one organ, one part of this body gets sick, the other parts of the body will feel the adversities of this ailment. In the best case, you will remain sleepless. Islamic intellectual thinking tells us that we need to have some common security. And unless we have common security, it is not possible for us to talk about a union, a unity.
وأستحضر في هذا المقام ما ذكره الإمام الماوردي في كتابه الشهير.
I also would like to make a reference to what Imam Mawardi said. The world
حدد قواعد ومقومات.
Excuse me, would you please turn off the microphones if you are not using them?
تسهم بشكل كبير في تحديد أسس.
We got very important ideas from this conference, and now we need to create some references because these ideas are related to our internal security and common security. All these opinions and ideas are important references for us in order for the world to be able to stand and in order for the world to have the order and the balance. And in order to have harmony in everything, there have to be 6 pillars. And of course, below these 6 pillars, there are some other underlying factors. Firstly, there need to be affiliation to one religion, and there is need for a leader. A comprehensive justice, trust, and hope and optimism are needed. We can elaborate on these pillars. First pillar was affiliation to a religion. In order for the life to run properly, this is the basic need. In order for the Islamic community to live in peace, this is indispensable. Secondly, the need for a strong leader. And of course, we're not talking about an oppression that is imposed by the leader. We are not talking about a persecutor, but we are talking about a strong leader who is going to use his power for the sake and good of the community, and that leader must be able to counteract all the challenges, and that is going to give the security needed for the whole community. The territory will be secured and the citizens will be able to live in security. Third pillar is inclusive justice. That will also help building a better world. And thanks to justice, there will be stability and trust as well. Justice is a need. It's an indispensable need. And inclusive security strategies should be identified in alignment with the justice principle. Another pillar is about overall security. Of course, it's about protecting the community, but protecting against what? Any element that can damage social peace is something that you need to protect the community from. And it is also about the rights of the individuals. The individuals need guarantees for their rights. They need guarantees in order to be able to sustain their lives. And this is a framework should be created in order to offer those guarantees. Today, maybe different terms are used for this, but there is this concept of economic welfare. There can be new terms coming, and at any time we can invent an alternative name for this concept. Economic strategies should also be identified for the development of a country. The fifth pillar is hope and optimism. That's a very broad area. Today, we need to live in safety so that we can have hope for future. With the permission of God. The community will be able to live in comfort today and will be looking into the future with all the hope and optimism. Last but not least, I'd like to say that Islamic Brotherhood is the most essential foundation that we have. God Almighty says in Holy Quran that, of course, the believers are brothers, and he says the same again and again. Of course, the Muslims are brothers and sisters, and according to the Hadith, a Muslim is a brother to another Muslim. This is what Prophet Muhammad says. There are 1.5 billion Muslim believers in the world, and with all these feelings, very sincerely from their own bosom, they believe that they are part of this community. They feel like a part of this community. They feel this belief and faith, and that is why we need this network of Islamic fraternity. This fraternity network should be one of the major principles for all of us. That will be helping us establishing the overall safety, internal safety, the common security, and that will be a major principle for creating the Islamic unity. So it's all about the security of our community, and we are looking forward to reaching the days of unity. And again, I would like to